This hour, upward and onward we go here in hour 3. My God, it's hour
Number 3.
That's right. Look at that. You know, I'm not a weatherman, but I'll pretend to be a sports talk show host. So here's the deal. Our lead this hour from Pro Bouncy Ball. If you're a super fan of the show, years ago there was a commercial that I was asked to read on Fox Sports Radio that had the word bouncy in it. And a guy from Norman, Oklahoma called up, very upset, irate, that I said the word bouncy. So I have used that ever since then as a way to mock him. And just, I think it was Randy from Norman, if I remember correctly. I think it sounds about right, Randy from Norman. Anyway, high drama around the association. A lot of negative energy around one of the blue blood sports in America. You got the big four. You got the Major League Baseball, the NFL, the NBA, and the NHL. Well, things are not going particularly great. In the NBA, they just crowned a champion. It's not even Christmas, and they handed out their championship trophy, the little Fugazi Cup. Isn't that cute? They have a nice little cup. They gave the cup to the Bucks, and so they had an event in Vegas. There was no excitement. There was no juice. There was none of that. So with all of these bad vibrations around the sport of basketball, the person that runs that sport has chimed in on all this. I don't know if you saw this or not recently. Maybe you missed it. So the NBA commissioner, Adam Silver, now he acknowledged that it is true there are less people now watching the NBA than there have been in the past. The ratings are down dramatically this season. They are. However, he said, Adam Silver, the dipsy-do, the dippity-dippity, that does not equate to the interest in pro bouncy ball being bad. Say what? So less people are watching, but the sport is really popular. Yeah, okay, that's the ticket. Now, what did he use as evidence, Adam Silver, if you saw this or not, what evidence did Adam Silver use to make his case? He said that he had data points that he brought up, including attendance, record-setting attendance back-to-back years, and social media engagement. That's what he said. He said that shows there's not a lack of interest in the NBA. Silver referenced 2 years of the highest attendance in league history and social media fan engagement, the highest of any of the major sports leagues in America. That there are more people engaged on the social media than anywhere else. So let us discuss. Now, Adam Silver, again, he's acknowledging the fact that the NBA TV ratings are sagging, but says that the NBA interest from fans is not lacking, despite what you might think. So how does this sound to you? I've got metallic foil, Micronesia, and drawing card. And we'll put all of these things together, and we're going to make buttered popcorn. Delicious buttered popcorn is what we're going to make. So first of all, listen, Adam Silver is never going to admit that Adam Silver's done a bad job. Just like Jerry Jones annoys the hell out of our friends in Texas because he refuses to say that he's ever done a bad job as GM of the Cowboys. And no one is going to offer that up on their own. That's just human nature. It's human 101. If your boss goes up to you at your job and says, hey, I don't think you're doing that well, you'd be like, well, no, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I'm working hard, You're not going to self-admit, say, oh, yeah, I really just didn't even try that week at work. No, I didn't. So Adam Silver can come out with all these different numbers and Venn diagrams and pie charts and all that, but he's not going to admit the quality is not as good. The quality control is bad. It's been lax. He's not going to say that. That the NBA sold out to the nerds and the nerds have ruined the sport. They can't say that. No. You're just a boomer. Well, apparently the boomers are the ones that drove the ratings because the ratings are down. Now, Adam Silver, I get it. He makes a lot of money. It's a great job. You don't really have to work that hard. There's not a lot of decisions to be made. Anybody could pretty much run the NBA. Clearly, Adam Silver, who's half man, half. Maybe he's the one. You think he's behind the drones? Could it be that Adam Silver's the one that his people from his planet out there in the cosmos have come back to try to get Adam Silver? I don't know. But either way, Adam likes those nice parties during the summer in the Hamptons. He likes that. He likes going to the Upper West Side and having a cup of coffee with some very important people. And so there's no way he's going to say, oh, yeah, I'm bad. They should get somebody else to be the commissioner. Bad job by me. So instead, what Adam Silver is doing is he's holding up those metallic foil pom-poms. He's part of the Spirit Squad for the NBA. The ratings are down, but everything's fine. How bad are the ratings, you ask? The viewership of NBA games from the national broadcast, the most important broadcast on ESPN, ABC, and TNT, are down 19% year to year. So imagine, if you will, you run a mom-and-pop pizzeria and you sell 20% less pizzas than you did the previous year. You'd be panicked. You'd be like, I got to find a reason. I need to sell those pizzas. What's up with that? And not only do you have that problem, but you also have the problem that perception is reality, and the perception is the players in the modern NBA are all buddy-buddy. They don't really care who wins and loses. They don't even like playing in the regular season. They like playing in the playoffs, but they don't like the regular season. It's a pebble in the shoe is what it is. It's an inconvenience. It's a nuisance to have to play like that. And as Adam Silver has gone on as the commissioner, he's beloved by the basketball media. He's talking about social media engagement, though. And I've had this conversation with my friends in the radio world. Like, we use social media during the live show, and I'll send photos out on Facebook and Instagram. In fact, later on, Jay Scoop's visiting with us on the overnight show. He was in the Ukraine for 15 months, and I'll put some photos up of that visit with him, and that'll be during the day. But we get paid to get people to listen to the radio or the podcast. We don't get paid to have people on social media. And spoiler alert, even though the NBA does make some money from social media, that is very small. It's peanuts compared to what they make from television. And so the idea that you're promoting this fact that, hey, listen, everything's great. Look at the engagement. The people watching clips on TikTok and sending nasty comments, throwing Molotov cocktails, verbally, of course, metaphorically, on X, are not the ones that are paying your bills. They're not. And every man, woman, and child, they know that the most important thing is TV. Now, TV is changing, and it's going to a streaming model, but you still have to get people to watch the stream. And it's like I have a TV show. Everyone's got a TV show. Even I have one. I got Benny versus the Penny, which we're going to record later today. And Benny versus the Penny is on cable television all over the place. But it's also now streaming. And that's where everything is moving. It's moving towards the stream. And so you're trying to get people to watch it on that as well. Now, secondly, speaking of the business of basketball and the reigning champions of the NBA, the Boston Celtics, the parquet, the whole thing. So the Celtics, they are getting their books opened up for the world. They're essentially naked for the world to see the Celtics right now. They're being sold, and Wyc Grousbeck is selling the Boston Celtics. Well, he's not even the owner. His dad is. Nobody knows who his dad is, but the family's selling the Celtics. And so when you sell something, you have to open up the books for people that want to buy. And so people are looking at all the numbers, and they're analyzing all the numbers and all this. And so it's an open book test. It's an open book test. And this is absolutely wild. So Sportico tells us they went through all the numbers, and they crunched the numbers. So the Celtics' net revenue in the last period for the Boston Celtics, their net revenue, $465 million. Dead presidents. Do you find this significant that the Celtics net revenue $465 million? So it is a jaw-dropping amount of money, $465 million. Yeah. So for some perspective, right? For some perspective here, the Celtics have more net revenue. That price point, $465 million. The Celtics have more revenue than the gross domestic product of Micronesia. All right, Micronesia was at $427 million. They also have more than the Marshall Islands at $280 million. So the Celtics are doing better than, and there's other countries that I've heard of those. I haven't heard of some of these other countries, but they're doing better. The point is the Celtics are doing better than these other countries. And Warren Buffett, who's getting up there, right? But one of the famous lines that Warren Buffett had in terms of financial investment, he says, you buy companies that an idiot can run. And the Celtics are a company that an idiot could run and make a ton of money. It's just the reality of the situation. Their mascot is a golden leprechaun that poops out gold bars. That's the Celtics mascot. They have a license to print money. And if you look at the portfolio, one other interesting point here, that while most of the money comes from TV, the Celtics were able to price gouge their fans and get the good people of Boston and New England to spend ridiculous amounts of money on tickets. But it's not just the TV, it's the ticket sales. There's a lot of revenue from that, merchandise and all that is split up. Now, moving on. Final thought, sticking with the theme, the boob tube, if you will. Charles Barkley has entered the chat. Sir Charles, the round mound of gasbaggery, Charles Barkley, says that he has not, despite what you might have read, not agreed to continue appearing on Inside the NBA, the iconic Turner show, when it moves off TNT and over to ESPN. Barkley announced that he is considering signing with one of ESPN's rivals, one of the two new broadcast partners with the NBA. And he says, quote, I have not decided yet. He says he's listening to NBC and Amazon, Barkley stated. So he's thinking about making the jump. Now, Barkley says he's not sure what's going to happen yet. He's not sure if he's going to bail on the deal. But again, he's looking at his options and going somewhere else. Could you see this happening? So, yes, although it is a long shot, and here's why. Because even though Barkley will be under the umbrella of ESPN, it will be through Turner. The show will continue to be produced, as I've been told, out of Atlanta. It'll just be a partnership, so it'll appear on the ESPN properties, but it'll be through Turner still. So that means Barkley will work with the same people, the same crew. They'll all still be there. Now, the reason that you don't totally dismiss this, imagine, if you will, a deck of cards. You got the ace, you got the king, you got the queen. There's some jokers in there, some twos, whatever. So you look at your deck of cards. Charles Barkley, which card is he? Is he the ace? No, he's not the ace. He's not the king. He's not the queen. No, he's none of that. He's not the 10, not the 9, not the 8. No. Charles Barkley is the drawing card. And without Charles Barkley, no one is going to go out of the way to hear what Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith have to say. And if you believe that is the case, that I'm wrong, you are delusional. So with Barkley, the show works. Without Barkley, the house of cards comes tumbling down. And Barkley knows, even though he will be working technically for TNT, it will be under ESPN somewhat, and which means that inevitably he's going to upset the censors. Now, I will admit that the media landscape has changed a bit, and things that Pat McAfee, for example, is getting away with, back in the old days, you would never get away with. So that's the argument for Barkley not having to worry about it. But the Mickey Mouse Disney Gestapo the censorship will be there. So Charles Barkley, I mean, he has enough power. If he wanted to, he'd be like, hey, let's blow this popsicle stand and we'll just go over to NBC and I'll reunite the entire group and we'll put the show together there.